The Blue Jays take on the Orioles, 1:05 p.m. Eastern start time. The Jays are minus 115, totals 9.5, juice to the over. The O's are minus 105 as the underdog. And if you like them to keep it close, they're minus 150, catching the 1.5 on the run line. We got Tommy Milone for the Orioles, Tanner Roark for the Blue Jays. I'm 2-0 in my last two NBA tier package plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. 63% my last 30 in that same package. If you want access to these premium selections, the link for that site is in the description section below. That's patreon.com/Brock Page. Malone's posted a 2.40 ERA since his opening day start. Baltimore's won 2 out of their last 3 ball games where Malone threw out the first pitch. He's also struck out 18 batters in 18 innings of work. The Orioles are in the top 5 in scoring, top 3 in hits. Hanser Alberto leads the club in hits. He's batting .316, which is 16th in the big leagues. He also batted in 13 and hit 11 doubles. Pedro Severino leads the club in batting average. He's hitting .338 while also knocking in 19 and hitting 5 homers. And speaking of homers, Anthony Santander leads the club with 9 of them. He's also got 25 RBI, which is second in Major League Baseball. Anthony's batting just 2 points shy of 300. Now, the O's are taking on a Toronto squad who's got Tanner Roark on the bump here today. 1-1 with a 6.00 ERA and a 1.58 whip. Tanner's walked 9 batters in 12 innings. The Blue Jays rank in the bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 3 in walks allowed. Toronto is also in 4th place in the AL East, 1.5 games behind Baltimore in the standings. Now, total-wise, 4 out of Toronto's last 6 ball games got over the total of 9.5 runs. Meanwhile, the Orioles have gone 75% to the over at Camden Yards this season. Give me the underdog Orioles, minus 105, and the over 9.5 in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick time out and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Wednesday's MLB baseball action. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. The weekend is right around the corner. Hopefully you guys are having a great week thus far. And if you're not, Friday is almost here, guys. Now, before we dive into some more free content here on YouTube, I just got to quickly remind you once again, we're 2-0 in our last 2 NBA tier package plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. 63% in our last 30 NBA tier package plays on that site as well. We're also 2-0 in our last 2 Better Friends tier package plays on that website as well. If you want some more information, link for that site is in the description section below, patreon.com/Brock Page. Moving on, we're going to take a look at Phillies Red Sox, 1:35 p.m. East. The Phils are minus 145, totals 11 juice to the over. The Red Sox are plus $1.25 for some money line cash. And if you like them to cover, they're minus $1.25, catching the 1.5. We got Kyle Hart for the Sox, Jake Arrieta for the Fightins. Arrieta struck out 14 batters in just over 15 innings pitched. He's also walked only 2 batters during that stretch. The Phillies are on a 4-game winning streak, including a 13-6 come-from-behind victory over the Red Sox yesterday. The Phillies have scored 31 total runs in their last 4 games. They actually rank in the top 3 in run production on average per game, top 5 in hits. Bryce Harper is leading the team in hits, batting average, stolen bases, and on-base percentage as well. Bryce is currently hitting .367, which is 4th in the league. He's also hit 5 homers, stole 4 bags, and knocked in 15. Bryce has been walked 12 times this season and leads the club in OBS. He's got an on-base percentage of .486. The only player on the team to have more walks than him is Rhys Hoskins with 17. Now, JT Realmuto leads the club in homers and RBI. He smacked 8 home runs and knocked in 20. He's currently tied for 6th in homers and 20th in RBI. Didi Gregorius is also hitting .308 with 3 homers and 13 batted in. The Phils are 7-5 straight up when favored, 4-2 straight up in their last 6 with Boston. And speaking of the Red Sox, they have Kyle Hart on the mound today, 0-1 with a officially 22.50 ERA. He gave up 7 hits and 5 earned runs in just over 2 innings in his last outing. Boston's lost their last 9 straight, and they find themselves with the fewest wins in the American League right now. They're currently 6-18 and already 10.5 games back of the Yankees for first place in the division. Boston ranks in the bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 3 in runs allowed. They've lost 10 out of their last 13 at Fenway and cashed in on the run line in just 29% of their games this year. Now, total-wise, 5 out of Boston's last 7 games got over the total of 11 runs. Meanwhile, the Phillies, on the other side, have gone 3-0 to the over in their last few games away from home themselves. Give me the Phillies winning this one outright in the over. 11 runs in that contest. All right, next matchup I have for you. We're actually going to avoid these doubleheaders here. Next matchup, Indians-Pirates, 7:05 p.m. Eastern start time. The Indians are minus 180, totals 8.5, juice to the over. The Pirates are plus $1.55 to win this one outright. And if you like Pittsburgh to keep this one close, they're minus 105 catching, the 1.5 on the run line. We got Stephen Brock for the Buccos, Aaron Savali for Cleveland. Savali's got a 3.60 ERA on the season and a 1.12 whip. He struck out 26 batters in just 25 innings of work and only walked 3. The Indians are on a 4-game winning streak, including a 3-game sweep of the Tigers during that span. They've also won 9 out of their last dozen and find themselves winning 62% of their games away from home. Now, Cleveland's in the top 3 in offensive walks, top 3 in runs allowed. The Indians are giving up just 2.8 runs per contest. Now, Franny Reyes is leading the team in hits and batting average. He's currently hitting .300 with 5 homers and 16 RBI. Jorge Ramirez also has 5 home runs and batted in 18. And Carlos Santana currently leads the club in on-base percentage. He's got an OBS of .414 thus far in the season. Cleveland's just a game and a half back of the Twins for first place in the AL Central. They also have the 3rd most wins in all of the American League. They're taking on a Pirates club who lost 12 out of their last 14 games, and they rank in the bottom 3 in the league in runs allowed, really just giving up a whole lot of runs. Stephen Brock's yet to record a win yet on the season. 5.14 ERA, 1.43 whip, 6 walks in his last 7 innings of work. The Pirates have won just 2 of 9 at home, and they win just 22% of their games when catching plus money. Pittsburgh currently has the fewest wins in Major League Baseball. Their .211 win percentage has them 9.5 games back of first in the NL Central. Now, total-wise, Pittsburgh's last 3 straight, surprisingly, got over the total of 8.5 runs. 8 out of their last 10 also got over that number. They're officially 67% to the over at PNC Park this season. Meanwhile, surprisingly, the Indians saw 5 out of their last 7 get over that number themselves. Give me the Indians minus 1.5 and the over 8.5 hook in that contest. Next matchup, it is going to be Rays-Yankees, and that's going to be a 7:05 p.m. Eastern start time. Yankees are the $2 favorite, total 7.5 juice to the over. The Rays are plus 165 to win this one outright. They're also minus $1.25 to cash in on the run line. We got Tyler Glasnow for the Rays, Garrett Cole for the Yankees. Cole's 4-0 already with a 2.76 ERA and 34 strikeouts. He's walked just 5 batters in just under 30 innings of work, and he has an 0.85 whip. The Yankees have won 6 out of their last 7, and they've cashed in on the run line in 10 out of their last 11 home games. New York's in the top 3 in scoring, top 10 in runs allowed. Now, Stanton, LeMahieu, and Judge are all still on the IL. That said, though, Aaron Hicks is currently leading the team in doubles. He's driven in 7. Luke Voigt also hitting .284 with 8 homers and 17 RBI. He's actually tied for 6th in the majors in homers on the season. Gio Urshela has also hit 4 doubles and knocked in 15. The Yankees are currently in first place in the AL East, 1.5 games ahead of the Rays for that top spot. They're also tied with the Twins and the A's for most wins in the American League. Now, the Rays on the other side have Tyler Glasnow on the hill for him tonight. 0-1 with a 7.04 ERA. He's walked 10 batters in just 15 innings pitched and has a 1.76 whip, kind of struggling with his command. The Rays have dropped 3 out of their last 4 when catching plus money. They're also just 6 and 7 ATS away from home. They're in the bottom 3 in hits allowed on the road. Now, total wise, 7 out of Tampa's last 8 got over the total of 7.5 runs. Tampa's officially gone 10 and 3 to the over when traveling this season. Meanwhile, the Yankees on the other side saw 8 out of their last 11 home games get over the posted number themselves. Give me the Yankees minus 1.5 and the over 7.5 in that contest. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Nationals-Braves, 7:10 p.m. Eastern start time. The Braves are minus 135, totals 10.5 flat. The Nats are plus 115 to win this one outright. And if you like them to cover, they're minus 165, cashing in on the run line. Eric Fetty for the Nats, Kyle Wright for the Braves. Atlanta's coming fresh off an 8-5 loss to this Washington club last night. The Braves have dropped 5 out of their last 8, and they gave up 44 total runs in their last 5 losses as well. Atlanta's averaging double-digit strikeouts per game. They're in the bottom 3 in the league in that category. They're also in the bottom 10 in walking batters. They've cashed in on the run line in just 4 out of their last 11 at Truist Park, formerly SunTrust Park. They're taking on a Nationals team who has Eric Fetty on the hill for them today, 1-1 with a 2.55 ERA in just under 18 innings of work. The Nationals have won 3 out of their last 5, including a 15-3 drubbing of the Orioles. They've also won 7 out of their last 11 road games and rank in the top 5 in hits. Trey Turner leads the club in hits and batting average. He's currently batting .291 with 4 homers and 9 ribbies. Juan Soto is currently leading the club in home runs. A lot of power out of him. He's hit 7 homers on the year thus far. Asdrubal Cabrera is leading the Nats in RBI with 16. And Starling Castro, keep in mind, still on the IL. But anyway, Washington's in the top 3 in road scoring, top 3 in road hits. And when it comes to the total in this one, Washington's last 5 straight got over the total of 10.5 runs. 9 out of their last 11 road games got over the posted number as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, Atlanta saw 4 out of their last 8 get over the total of 10.5 runs themselves. Give me the Underdog Nationals plus $1.15 and the over 10.5 in that game. All right, next contest, Mets Marlins, 7:10 p.m. Eastern start time. The Mets are the $2.25 favorite, total 7.5, juice to the under. The Marlins are plus $1.90 on the money line. And if you like Miami to cover here, they're plus 105 for some run line cash. Pablo Lopez for the Fish, Jake DeGrom for the Mets. Now, DeGrom's actually battled some neck stiffness lately, so he's a little bit banged up. And the Mets have dropped 3 out of their last 5, and that includes a 3-game sweep to the Phillies. So they're not playing great baseball right now. New York's won just 6 of 13 on the road this season. They're taking on Pablo Lopez and the Marlins. Lopez 2-1 on the season, 2.25 ERA in 16 innings of work. He struck out 19 while walking just 4, and he has a whip of just 1.13. The Marlins are currently in second place in the NL East, just 1 game behind the Braves for first place in the standings. Jesus Aguilar leads the team in hits, batting average, homers, and RBI. He's hitting .277 with 4 homers and 16 RBI. Brian Anderson's also hit 4 homers and knocked in 15. He's currently got an OBP of 362. Now, total-wise, 5 out of Miami's last 7 got over the total of 7.5 runs. 4 out of their last 7 games got over the posted total as well. Oddly enough, 2 out of Jake DeGrom's last 3 starts for the Mets got over the posted total themselves. So with that said, give me the Marlins plus 1.5 and the over 7.5 in that game. All right, next matchup. It is going to be Astros Rockies, 8:40 p.m. Eastern start time. The Astros are the $1.55 favorite. Totals 12.5. Juice to the over. The Rockies are plus 130 on the money line. And if you like the Rockies to cover at home, they're minus $1.10, catching the 1.5. Ryan Castellani for the Rockies. Framer Valdez for the Astros. And as good as he's been in certain spots, Valdez is just 1-2 on the season. Meanwhile, the Astros lost 6 out of their last 9 games where Valdez makes the start. Of course, that dates back to last season. Now, the Astros rank in the bottom 3 in the league in walking batters. They're also in the bottom 10 in runs allowed on the road. Houston's won just 3 out of their last 9 when traveling. They failed to cash in on the run line in 6 out of those 9 away games. Brantley's still in the IL. Springer's questionable with a wrist. The Rockies on the other side, they have one of the hands down best pure hitters in baseball in Charlie Blackmon. He's first in batting average, 5th in RBI. Charlie's batting ridiculous. He's almost batting 500 right now. He's got 3 homers, 22 batted in. He also leads the team in doubles and on-base percentage. He currently has an OBP of 470. Trevor Story leads the club in homers with 7. Nolan Arenado's right behind him with 6. The Rockies are in the top 10 in scoring, top 3 in hits. Now Ryan Castellani takes the mound for them this evening. 1.04 ERA, .58 WHIP. He struck out 10 batters in just over 8 innings of work. And when it comes to the total in this one, Colorado's 65% to the under on the season, 4-1 to the under in their last 5 versus the American League. Meanwhile, the Astros on the other side saw 2 out of their last 3 Valdez starts stay under the posted number themselves. So with all that in mind, give me the Rockies plus 1.5 and the under 12.5 in that contest. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Rangers-Padres, 9:10 p.m. Eastern first pitch. The Padres are the $1.35 favorite. Number 7.5 juice, 15 cents to the over. The Rangers are plus 115 to win it. And if you like Texas to get the job done on the run line, they're minus $1.85, catching the 1.5. Lance Lynn for the Rangers, Chris Paddock for the Padres. Paddock's just 2-2 on the season with a 4.91 ERA. San Diego's dropped 5 out of their last 7 and averaged just 2.6 runs per contest in those defeats. The Padres rank in the bottom 10 in striking batters out. They're also in the bottom half of the league in offensive hits at home. They're taking on a Rangers squad who's got Lance Lynn on the bump here today. Now, Lynn's had a great season thus far. He's 3-0 on the year, 1.11 ERA. He's punched out 36 batters in just over 32 innings of work. He's currently got a whip of just .74. Now, the Rangers have won 8 out of their last 11 in San Diego. Todd Frazier leads the club in hits, doubles, and batting average. Todd's hitting .296 with 7 doubles on the year. Joey Gallo smashed 6 home runs on the season as well. 15 runs batted in for Gallo as well. Nick Solak also leads the club in OBP. He's just 2 points shy of a .400 on-base percentage. The Rangers have gone 4-1 when Lance Lynn makes the start this season. And when it comes to the scoring in this one, 3 out of Lynn's last 5 starts stayed under the number. Meanwhile, the Pods on the other side of things, well, they saw 60% of their home games stay under the posted total themselves. Give me the Rangers, the Underdog Rangers, plus $1.15, and the under 7.5 in that game. Next contest, D-backs, Athletics, 9:40 p.m. East. The A's are minus 175, totals 8.5, juice to the under. Arizona's plus 150 for an upset win. They're minus 145 on the run line as well. Merrill Kelly's for the D-backs, Jesus Luzardo for the A's. Luzardo's walked 9 batters in just over 20 innings of work, 4.79 ERA and a 1.50 WHIP. The A's have lost their last 2 straight, both losses coming against the Diamondbacks. Even worse, one of those losses was a 10-1 beatdown. Anyway, Oakland's averaging double-digit strikeouts for the year, double-digit strikeouts on average per game. They're also in the bottom 3 in the league in that category. They rank in the bottom 10 in hits as well. They're taking on a Diamondbacks club who's got Merrill Kelly on the bump here today. 3-1 on the season, 1.71 ERA. Merrill struck out 22 batters in just over 26 innings of work. He's also got a whip of just .91. The D-backs are in the top 10 in scoring, top 10 in hits. They are currently on a 6-game winning streak and amassed a total of 44 runs during that span. Now, the D-backs also rank in the top 5 in striking batters out, top 10 in road hits. Ketel Marte leads the club in hits. Starling Marte leads the club in batting average. Starling's batting .361, which ranks 6th in Major League Baseball. He also has an on-base percentage of .448. Cole Calhoun leads the team in homers and RBI. He's hit 7 bombs on the year and knocked in 18. And Nick Ahmed also batted in 16 and is hitting .275 on the season. And when it comes to the total in this one, 3 out of the D-backs' last 4 games got over the total of 8.5 runs. 7 out of their last 9 also got over that number. Oakland, on the other side, saw 5 out of their last 6 games get over the official posted total themselves. So with all that said and done, give me the D-backs plus 1.5 and the over 8.5 in that contest. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Dodgers-Mariners, 9:40 p.m. Eastern first pitch. The Dodgers are the $2.40 favorite. Total's 9.5, juice to the under. The Mariners are plus $2 for an upset win. And if you like Seattle to cover the 1.5, they're plus $1.20 for some run line cash. Taijuan Walker for the Mariners. Julio Urias for the Dodgers. Now LA's won their last 7 straight. 10-2 straight up in their last 12 games on the road this season. They rank in the top 3 in run production, top 10 in hits. Julio Urias takes the mound for Los Angeles tonight. 2-0 on the season, .253 ERA. The Dodgers have won 3 out of their last 4 games where Julio made the start as well. Now Urias has a .253 ERA and a 1.13 whip. The Dodgers currently have the most wins in Major League Baseball. 18-7 on the season, .720 win percentage, 8-2 straight up in their last 10. Mookie Betts leads the club in hits and homers and RBI. He's batting .305 with 9 homers and 21 runs batted in. Corey Seager's leading the club in batting average as well. He's hitting .316 with 6 homers and 17 ribbies. Justin Turner is leading the club in doubles and OBP. He's hit 6 doubles and has an on-base percentage of .375. The Dodgers are giving up just 3.1 runs per contest and rank in the top 5 in hits allowed. They're taking on Taijuan Walker and the Mariners. Just 1-2 on the season for Taijuan, .405 ERA, 7 walks. The Mariners have dropped 3 of 4 when Taijuan Walker makes the start. The Mariners are on a 7-game losing streak and average just 2.8 runs per contest in that span. Seattle's in the bottom 3 in scoring, bottom 5 in hits. They're currently in last place in the AL West, and they have the second fewest wins in the American League. Seattle's already 11 games below 500. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Seattle's last 4 stayed under the total of 9.5 runs. The Mariners are 70% to the under at T-Mobile Park, formerly Safeco Field, by the way. Meanwhile, the Dodgers on the other side are 60% to the under in all their games for the season. Give me the Dodgers minus 1.5. And the under 9.5 in that game. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you decide to get a package here today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.